So, continuing the series on interview tips, one of the things I get asked for by freshers or experienced candidates is, at the end of the interview, when the interviewer asks, "Do you have any questions for me?" Well, what would be good questions to ask? So, I just have three things. I ensure that I ask these three things, and these are very good questions. The first one is, I would always want to know that, is there any other role that I would be expected to do that is not there in the job description? Why this is a good question is because in many companies, the job descriptions are outdated. They just use it for sake of formality. So when you throw this to your interviewer, they immediately are like, they're happy that you asked. They're like, yeah, you know what, that this job description is like 3-4 years old. So here is what you will be expected to do, and it's something really fun, and it's very, it's about learning, and they talk about it. So the first question is, am I expected to do a role that is not described in the job description? The second one I would say is, over the course of the interview, they would have explained something, and in most cases, we don't understand everything. So the second thing you can ask is clarifications, and nothing wrong with that, right? You could be like, hey, you were describing about this process. I didn't get it entirely. Do you mind explaining that again? Because I think that's interesting. So these have to be genuine clarifications, right? So, and it gives the impression to the interviewer that you were listening, because otherwise you wouldn't follow up and, ask about it. The last thing I would ask the interviewer is, if they can describe their company's culture. Now, I did a separate video on what's company culture and why is it important, because we live in an age where more than our education and our qualifications, our values are very important. And companies want to know if our values are in sync with their values, be it teamwork or, helping each other out, or be it innovating at a very fast pace. So it's a sync of values. And it's a big thing growing in contemporary times. So many companies are joining the bandwagon on establishing a company culture. So even if it's not official, because many companies, they are out there describing and giving importance to their culture. So even if it's not publicly advertised, every company has its unique culture. So when you throw this question to the interviewer, they'll be glad you asked, because it's going to leave a lasting impression on them. And here's a guy who really wants to know what he's getting into. To summarize, number one, ask them what you need to do that is not described in the job description, any new roles. Number two, any genuine clarifications over the course of your discussion. And number three, their company culture, if they can define it in their own terms. Okay? Good luck.